Alright, you might have noticed in the past few years that a lot of flagship phones and even some mid-rangers and budget options are coming out with 5G. Carriers are marketing 5G a ton, and you might live in an area with 5G coverage right now and not even know it. So with all this push to a new generation of wireless, should you upgrade to a 5G phone? Well, spoiler alert, the answer is yes, but not for the reason you think. But first, a quick history lesson. The first commercial 5G in the US was established in 2019, and well, it was kind of rough to start out. Verizon seemed to be the one pushing the pretty young tech very far, and while you could buy a 5G phone from them and get insane speeds with their ultra-wideband millimeter wave 5G, the second there's the most minimal interference, like a car or a tree or a building, your signal's cut off and you're back on LTE. That meant for most people, having access to 5G through their phone or their plan made zero difference. But even for the people who did have access to it, the very first 5G phone, the Samsung Galaxy S10 5G, was $1,300, plus an expensive 5G compatible plan from Verizon. Others did catch up later on. The T-Mobile and Sprint merger happened, and low and mid-band 5G got built up pretty quickly. But with this 5G, especially the low band, it was really trying to solve the range problem the millimeter wave had. And so as a result, it had a very low frequency in an effort to just cover more area. While that worked, the low frequency of low-band 5G networks meant that you get pretty much either the same or even worse performance than LTE. They used different bands and new tower equipment, but all that felt like a waste for essentially no difference for the average user. So it's understandable that last year and the year before, it didn't really make sense to buy a 5G phone for 5G because it was really just seen as a gimmick. But now things have completely changed in 2022, where in my opinion, 5G is finally taking its form to the point where I'd consider it a selling point for your next phone. And I've got several reasons why. So you might have heard of C-band. If you recall earlier in the video where I mentioned that there was basically two types of 5G, and each had opposing strengths and weaknesses. Low band and some mid-band gave you great range but suboptimal performance, and millimeter wave gave you unreal speeds but with terrible range. C-band is basically the best of both of those worlds. Excellent speeds and superb range. Last year, the FCC auctioned a lot of C-band spectrum to US carriers, and they've since deployed it in quite a few of their towers. But this was just last year, and it's only now that C-band is getting real. Carriers are literally spreading their N77 and N78 like wildfire, and it's super exciting. Literally just a couple days ago, the FAA approved it to be installed in airports. What I'm saying is, C-band is the real 5G. What we expected 5G to be all along from the beginning. So while all past 5G technologies have had some trade-off, C-band doesn't. But while C-band does offer the best of 5G with no compromise, who even cares? Why should the average user care about faster speeds enough to buy a whole new phone just because of it? And if that was all it had to offer, I probably wouldn't be as excited either. But there's more to it, and C-band offers far more noticeable and important improvements for 5G technology. First up, better reliability. C-band has the capacity to handle more people. Isn't it kind of annoying when you're in a crowded area and you're trying to use your phone, but it's really slow despite having full bars? That's because the network is congested. And while this C-band doesn't solve network congestion, it hugely improves on it. C-band is far more ready for congestion because it has high frequencies, which means it can handle more people at once. But additionally, C-band also decreases latency. One of the main selling points of 5G from the beginning was next to no latency, meaning actions happen instantly with no delay. And while low-band 5G didn't bring that ultra-low latency we've been waiting for, C-band is. You can play an online game with a fraction of the input lag, and while it sounds subtle, the difference is night and day. But finally, and most importantly, future-proofing. If you buy a new phone now, you're probably going to hold onto it for 3 to 4 years. In fact, people have started holding onto their phones for longer because the tech is just getting that good. While in the past, major landmark upgrades have occurred in the mobile landscape, technological progress is now slowing, meaning people can get away with holding onto their existing phones for longer. So if you buy a 5G phone right now, with the bands to support future mobile technology, you can hold onto it for a while and rest easy knowing that it'll support all the future wireless technologies and continuously give you excellent speeds. And if you're still uneasy about this whole thing because brand new phones are kind of expensive, they're not quite as pricey as you think. You can get a good quality, well-spec'd C-band capable phone for $300 or less, or next to nothing if you go through a carrier deal, because carriers want people on their new technologies, giving them incentive to subsidize some phones. So with C-band deployment giving people better reliability, faster speeds, greater range, ultra low latency, and more, if you're buying a new phone in 2022, make it a 5G one. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like down below to let me know, and send this video to someone who's getting a new phone soon. But with that, I'm Max. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.